Well, hi there. I'm right in the middle of making some shadow boxes for my daughter, and I thought maybe I'd show you how I put splines in the corners. But first of all, I've got to glue up and get everything ready. My first step is actually to glue the boxes together, just temporarily, and I just use regular yellow wood glue. And then after they're glued into a square, then I'll take it over to this table saw and I'll show you how I make these splines in the corner. It's quite simple, quite easy. Anybody can do it, but it makes a much stronger box. And the same thing goes for picture frames. Splines in the corner of picture frames increases the strength, and you'll never have a picture frame come apart ever with a spline in it, unless you just throw it on the floor and stomp on it, and then of course it's going to break. But anyway, here's my little sled that I use. I don't know if you can see it here, but this is the sled that I use on the table saw for cutting the splines, and I'll show you how it works after a little bit. To lay these end to end and line them up right with the edge of the tape. The tape will hold everything together while we do the glue up. So just put them up against each other like that and try to keep them straight with the tape. That way it'll be pretty much square when you get done. One more here. Actually, I gotta go out with the tape a little bit. The main thing is when they're bedded together like this, they will easily glue up, and it doesn't take very much glue. My glue's a little bit cold, so I had it upside down here. Just a little dribble of glue in there on each one of them is all it's going to take. And then you can take your finger or whatever you'd like to use, or a little acid brush or something like that, and spread it out a little bit. Actually, it won't take much because most of it's going to be squeezed out anyway. So here we go. Let's see if we can make this work. Just kind of spread it out a little bit here. Should just do the job. Usually when you fold these up, why all the glue kind of squeezes up into the upper part, and then you have a complete glue. I'm just kind of abbreviating the gluing here just a little bit. But what I'm going to do now, I had my framer square here to hold the tape down, and I just fold it up like that. You see, that's going to squeeze out a little bit of glue there. Now take hold of the other end, fold it up, bring it over like this. Get everything lined up, bring the two ends together. And now just pull it tight as you go around the corner and bring it down. Make sure it's got a good tight fit, like so. Now the next step would be to put a strap around it and then pull the thing tight. Make sure it's square. Seems to be pretty good right now. Okay, and now it's ready for the strap. The sled and my shadow box on the table saw. Here again, I shown you this before. Here's my slot cutter, spline cutter, whatever you want to call it, and I've put a clamp here on the table saw fence to stop the sled at the appropriate spot. That way it doesn't go on through and get my hands in the way of everything. So you can either hold the thing in place like this with your hands up away from the saw blade, or if you're doing a smaller one, you can actually clamp across here like this, because I've got a little spacer in here where you can put your clamp and hold it in place. But for now, what I'm going to do is just run it through like this, and I'll show you how it comes out. So here goes the noise. Now if I want to put a second slot in there, I can just reverse this in the sled like so, get it all positioned in place, start the saw and run it through on each side again. Well, here's the finished product. I'm going to put a little bit of diluted stain on there so that you can see how that walnut pops out on the surface when I put the stain on. This is just some diluted water-based stain, and you can just wipe it on there and you can see what things are going to look like when you get finished with it. And this really makes the color pop out nice. It's going to be a pretty project when it's finished. By the way, this is pretty good. This diluted stain, you can put it on even though you're going to eventually stain this as a finished product. You can put this stain on in a diluted form, and it'll pop out the grain or the scratches that are left behind by your sanding or whatever. And I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been fun making this video, and maybe somebody can learn something from it. I know I've sure learned a lot while I'm doing the video shoot, because I'm sort of just learning on how to do this video business, and sometimes, you know, it's just you live and learn. That's how things go in life. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.